Hey folks, Chris here with another X-Wing initial impression video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the FFG live stream where they announced the dates for Worlds 2019, did a little Q&A session. So what I've done, I've edited the video down to be just the X-Wing content, and we'll go through and I'll give my thoughts on it after this short video.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of FFG Live. My name is Evan Johnson and I'm joined here today by none other than Josh Massey.
Hey everyone.
Josh, who are you? Why are you here? What are we here to talk about?
I am the Organized Play Program Manager. So it's my job to make sure prizes are cool, but also a lot of other OP business.
Yeah, which is kind of what we're here to talk about today, right?
It absolutely is.
So we're here, in case you're just tuning in or didn't know what you were getting into. So we're here to talk about the X-Wing and Star Wars Destiny World Championships that are coming up in October. Woo. We're going to have a bunch of information and all of that. We're going to have a lot of exciting info to share. But just let us, if you have your own questions, feel free to shout those out in the chat on Twitch or YouTube. I'm watching it. We will, ask the questions that we can.
Yep.
Hopefully we will have time for as many as possible. And let's get started.
Okay,
I guess.
let's do this.
All right, so, let's start probably with the most important thing here. I should say also about questions before I unlock like a massive deluge of questions. Questions about OP related to the X-Wing and Destiny World Championships is what we're talking about today.
That's fair.
Not just any OP questions. X-Wing and Destiny World Championships.
Yes.
Let's start with the big thing. When is it happening? Where is it taking place?
So, X-Wing and Destiny World Championships are going to be happening October 16th through the 20th. So that's Wednesday to Sunday. And we've got a whole bunch of events planned that we'll talk about shortly. But a big thing to note here outside of the dates is that it is not taking place at the Fantasy Flight Game Center.
Say what?
Yeah, I know.
That's new.
So with some changes and some huge numbers this year for players, we are actually hosting it at the River Center in St. Paul.
Yeah, inside the Roy Wilkins Auditorium, I believe.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great space.
Yeah.
What's kind of the story there? We've had the World Championships at our game center for a real long time.
Yes.
Why the change? What's going on?
So we love the game center.
Yeah, we do.
Nothing against them. It's a wonderful location. It's been a great venue for years and years. But we're just too big.
Yeah.
We've had to spread the event into 5 days because of how big we are. But we also found that with the number of invitations we've given out this year, we just can't support that many players in a game store.
Yeah.
So we need to move up to something just a little bit bigger, which this is going to definitely fulfill that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're saying tons of seats.
Tons of seats.
That's awesome. That's really good. That's really good to hear. Okay,
Yeah.
So I guess speaking of tons of seats, so X-Wing World Championship, invitation only. Right.
That is correct.
But we are going to be selling tickets for the Destiny World Championship and then for that last chance qualifier to get into X-Wing Worlds. When are the tickets going live for these events and how much do those tickets cost?
Very good questions. So the tickets are going live 1 month from today, June 28th. People will be able to buy tickets for Destiny Worlds and for the LCQ for X-Wing.
Okay, perfect.
The X-Wing LCQ tickets are going to be $25.
That makes sense.
Yep. If you make it to the World Championships via the LCQ, you will pay an additional $25 to enter the main event. For Destiny Worlds, it will be a $50 fee.
Perfect. So, so you pay the $25 to get in the LCQ, and then only if you qualify, you'll pay the extra $25.
Correct.
To get in X-Wing Worlds. I do see a question in the chat here. How do you get an invite to X-Wing Worlds outside of like that last chance qualifier? Are there still chances for people to do that?
There are still chances. There are still events going with the hyperspace events happening in stores that are offering invitations. There are also, starting this weekend, and something I'm actually traveling to today, there are not continental Grand Championships, our former national championships that will be offering invitations as well. And then there will be continental championships happening prior to these events as well.
And, okay, perfect. Well, hopefully that answers that question. All right, someone asking about details on the last chance qualifier. We'll get to that in a second, actually.
Almost there.
First, so run me down the schedule for these main events. What's happening on which day? What are the formats that we're looking at?
Okay, so starting on Wednesday, actually, you know what? We'll just open this up. Wednesday to Sunday, there are going to be side events.
Yeah,
They're going to be running throughout the entire event, and that's one of the reasons we needed the extra space from the River Center. So we're going to make sure that you guys have ways to play even when it's not really your turn to play for the World Championships. So all 5 days, we're going to be running those. But starting on Wednesday, we are going to be hosting the Coruscant Invitational, which is going to be really, really cool, really, really fun, and we'll get into a little bit more detail on that shortly.
Yep.
And then the XWing LCQ.
Yep, that's on Wednesday.
That is also on Wednesday, yep.
Yep.
Then on Thursday, we are, actually, I'll mention the LCQ right now. LCQ is going to be the extended game mode.
Yep, perfect.
So that will be the same game mode as the World Championships. We want to make sure that players have to bring one list.
Right, that makes sense.
And can play in both events if they choose, right?
Yep, makes sense.
So then Thursday is going to be X-Wing Day 1A. Friday is going to be X-Wing Day 1B and Destiny Day 1A.
Yep, makes sense.
Saturday is going to be the X-Wing Finals and the Destiny Day 1B, followed by Sunday, which is the Destiny Finals.
All right.
And
Oh, you got more.
the 2020 Worlds Qualifier.
We'll say what?
2020 Worlds Qualifier on Sunday.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So let's drill down and focus on X-Wing specifically for a little bit.
Yeah.
What kind of side events are we looking at running here at the X-Wing World Championships?
If you can imagine it, we can build it.
Oh, snap. If we build it, they will come.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to be running, hyperspace events. We're going to be running extended events. At this point, Epic will be in play as well, so those will also be options for players. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff available for side events.
That's awesome. And so let's say I'm an X-Wing player. I've switched from my previous story, my previous metaphor.
You got to make up your mind. Pick a game.
So, all right. So maybe I play both. So I'm an X-Wing player. I show up. I play in the last chance qualifier. I don't make it. Can I still just hang out and play in side events for the rest of the time? Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
You can stay through Sunday and continue to play the games.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Okay, so speaking of that last chance qualifier, how many seats are we looking at? How big is this tournament? How many people can register for this?
How many seats do you want?
Hundreds.
Okay, I can give you 100. So we're going to have 400 seats available for the LCQ.
Wow.
Yep. Again, a reason we needed a larger space. So of these 400 seats, we are guaranteeing that the top 64 in the LCQ are going to be able to play in Worlds.
Okay. Top 64 plus then any seats that are unclaimed by champions, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're accounting for all of the seats that have been earned through the year. Anybody that does not fill those seats will be filled through the LCQ.
And those 64, they're just going to be like evenly split between the 2 days, the day 1A and day 1B
That's the goal.
of X-Wing?
Yep.
Perfect. Makes sense to me. So if you don't claim your seat for X-Wing Worlds, it will go to those top players in the last chance qualifier. So what I'm wondering, if I'm a very good X-Wing player and I have a reserved seat at Worlds, how do I claim my seat? How do I get there?
So you can claim your seat starting today.
Say what?
Say what?
Right after this?
Right after this.
Okay.
So when the article goes live, there will be information about how to claim your seat for those that have qualified for X-Wing Worlds.
Perfect. I have a little form for you guys to fill out right after this.
Yeah.
And then what's my deadline? Say I'm a procrastinator and I want to put it off until the very last second.
Don't procrastinate too much. We're going to September 1st for the deadline.
Okay.
So that'll give you guys a lot of time to go in, fill out the form, and if you miss it, sorry, you miss it. But there will be a time after September 1st that players can still win an invitation to Worlds for X-Wing.
Right.
So if this is the case and you would like to attend this World Championships, you need to reach out to us directly at the Organized Play email address. So organizedplay@fantasyflightgames.com.
Perfect. That makes sense. So the last chance qualifier, lots of people will be playing in that. And at the same time, then, we also have the Coruscant Invitational.
Yes.
What can we tell people about that? That should be something pretty special for people to watch.
The Coruscant Invitational is going to be pretty cool. We have set it to a 5-round event, and we have broken everybody into teams. So it will be a team event. We're going to have members of the teams bringing a unique variety of lists.
Okay.
And they will be playing early in the day against each other. Pretty standard. It'll be expanded and or hyperspace depending on the round and what we want to do.
Sure.
Moving into some epic play. towards the end. So we're going to have some really interesting ways of adjusting who plays who and how they play the game.
That sounds cool.
Yep.
And I should say that even though we are going to be in a new space here with being in the River Center, we're still going to be streaming all of Worlds.
Yes.
So even if you are unable to attend for whatever reason, you can still tune into our stream. We're going to be streaming X-Wing and Destiny and the Coruscant Invitational the whole time.
Yes, and the Coruscant Invitational will be a really fun one to watch.
Yeah. Did we say the number of seats that we'll have for X-Wing? Are we able to say that?
We don't have that finalized,
Sure.
but I mean, the idea with the 400 players for the LCQ is that we would have 400 seats open for day 1A and day 1B of the main event as well.
Perfect. Awesome. That's very cool. So let's talk prizes a little bit to wrap things up. So we don't have a ton of prizes to show at this point.
Sadly, not yet.
But you will have a lot of sweet stuff to look forward to on our website in the near future. What can we tell people about our prizes?
So there will be a prize wall.
Oh, sweet.
So prize wall is coming back. I love prize walls. It's one of my favorite things in the world because it allows players to get what they want, right? So prize wall is coming back. We're working on a lot of the prizes right now for both X-Wing and Destiny, and I can just tell you right now, because I can't show you anything yet, that they are amazing. They're gorgeous. We're doing some of the most exciting things that we've ever done for entry to the event.
Nice.
So the participation prizes are going to be bigger and better exponentially than they've ever been before.
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple of the early concepts, and they are so cool.
Yeah, we're really, really excited for it and for you and for hopefully me to snag one as well.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't we get something we work here?
It's only fair.
Right. Okay. Who gets invited to Coruscant? Top 8 or only winner of system opens?
Oh, geez.
It's just the winners.
Just the winners.
It's just the winners. Yeah.
If it were the top 8, that would be a huge event. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
But yes, it is just first place in those events.
Let's see. A lot of people talking about X-Wing in Brazil. That is not really within our sphere of influence at the moment. I work in marketing, and he works in OP.
Yep.
But we will pass that on to the appropriate people. That there is ardent support.
You know what? I'll say it. We've been talking to OP in Brazil, and we are moving towards that happening. So it will be there. I promise.
Awesome. They're asking if X-Wing can have the same pre-submission requirements for day 1A and day 1B as Destiny, right? Where you have to turn in your list.
Oh, absolutely.
Day 1A.
Absolutely. Yes.
Same on both, right?
Yes.
Someone asking, how do I get last chance qualifier tickets? We can just run that by again. How do you get tickets for the last chance qualifier or for Destiny?
Or for Destiny. That will be 1 month from today, June 28th.
June 28th.
Yep. It will, we'll have information go live on the site, and we will also have social posts just to make sure everybody's aware and know how to get there.
We'll shout about it. Any contest for repainted X-Wing ships as a side event?
Not currently.
Oh, but you're saying there's a chance.
I'm not saying there's not a chance.
Let's see. When will you know if you are in X-Wing day 1 or day 2 of the event, or day 1A or day 1B?
That will happen after people start submitting their entries and confirming their attendance. We will start reaching out to people and making sure that you guys have that information.
Perfect. Let's see what's happening over here on YouTube. X-Wing Epic will be revealed soon. It's coming. Don't worry.
Soon is relative, so we can say soon, right?
It'll be before Worlds. Let's see. Mention points rebalance for X-Wing. So basically, there will be the twice annual points rebalancing. So we're looking at kind of like late June.
Yes.
We'll have actually another stream, I believe, where we'll have the devs on. We're going to talk about how we're mixing up the X-Wing points. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
That's good. I'm good. Okay. Will players that get a last chance qualifier ticket that later qualify by winning a tournament, will they be able to refund?
We will either refund you, or we will just charge you the additional $25 for the entry to Worlds, like anybody who were to make it through the LCQ.
Sure.
We'll make that right.
Okay, perfect. Would you guys have plans to do this OP streaming monthly or at least every 2 months? I think it's very important, this communication with the community. Yes, we're definitely going to have OP streams probably every month. We're not going to force it, you know, if there's not like, if there's a month where there isn't necessarily something to say, but with how much you guys do, there's probably going to be stuff
We'll
to
have
say
things to
pretty
say.
much every month.
Yes.
Let's see here. People asking about release dates of XWing Wave 4. Don't really have anything to say about that at this
OP.
point. Yeah, exactly. That is outside of our domain. So sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Is Prime what regionals used to be?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Sorry, I should make that clear for
Yes.
those that haven't read our articles about the growth in OP is, yes, Prime Championships are akin to what regionals were. So they are the highest tier of event that a store can run.
Sure, and it feeds into then those higher tiers,
Yep.
sure.
Yep. The champion of that event will earn an invitation to XWing Worlds for XWing.
Will non-stores be able to host primes, i.e. large player-run events?
At this point, no, these are store-focused events. It does not mean that there will not be a day when we have similar events that are run outside of stores. But we really need to focus these events in the stores and build those player bases locally.
All right. Okay, there's a bunch of questions in this one.
Oh,
are XWing Deluxe Wave kits still happening? If so, when is Wave 3 expected?
They are not.
Okay.
Yeah, we've beefed up OP in a lot of other areas, and due to that, we are not doing the wave kits any longer.
Makes sense.
At least for the time being. It's not to say that they won't come back
Right.
once we.
They could certainly come back.
Yep.
How many galactic qualifiers can we expect until Worlds?
I honestly don't know the answer to that question. I apologize.
Yep, nope, that's fine.
I don't schedule those events.
All right, perfect. Is the prize wall segregated between XWing and Destiny?
That is being discussed currently. We know that there are a lot of players that do play both games, but we also need to find a balance because Destiny is a much faster game to play. So we need to make sure that we have the right balance of tickets earned for the prize wall to make sure that people, not saying that any of you would, but make sure that people don't game the system by playing Destiny to claim all of the X-Wing prizes.
Right, these people wouldn't.
No, none of you would do that.
Yeah, of course not.
Especially when I use the Force to tell you you would never do that.
What about judges this year?
Oh, what's up with judges?
So-
do we want people to apply to
You know,
judge?
if you want to apply to judge, feel free to apply to judge. Again, organized play at Asmodena, ASMODNEE, or NA,
NA, right?
yes, NA.com. Organized play at AsmodayNorthAmerica.com.
Yep, Asmodena.
So, yep, Asmodena.com.
Okay.
So definitely reach out if you're interested in judging. We would not turn away people that were interested. We'd at least give you some information.
Awesome. That's very good. People saying let Brent judge. Brent is good.
Okay.
Oh, you don't know Brent?
I don't.
Okay.
Do I know Brent?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't you?
Sounds good.
Let's see here. Are all events that have a Worlds invite in the prize pool all the way up to October 12th going towards this year's Worlds? That is not true, correct? Because our deadline for claiming your seat is September 1st.
It is September 1st, but
Yep. So those Worlds invites would then be honored for the next
they would be honored for the next
something.
year. So up to 2 months prior to this World Championships,
Yep.
you could use that invitation for 2019, or you could postpone it for 2020 if you would prefer.
They have some questions about the 2020 qualifier as well. Is that for X-Wing or for Destiny or for both?
That, I believe, is just for X-Wing.
Yeah.
But I am not 100% sure on that because with the Destiny finals being that day,
Right.
it would seem unfair to be hosting a Destiny event where
Certainly.
the top players in the world aren't able to attend.
Yeah, I believe it is only for X-Wing. Yep. Any comment on extended versus hyperspace for Worlds? What's up with choosing extended over hyperspace?
So Extended was chosen this year because we wanted to give the people who've been playing the game for a long time the most access to use what they want
Yeah,
to play in this event.
for sure.
Right. That does not mean that Worlds will never be the hyperspace format. And that does not mean that hyperspace will exist as it is now. Hyperspace may change to become something very unique for Worlds in particular.
Sure.
But That's not this year, so let's worry about that at a later date.
Right, absolutely. Someone asked, is Armada a separate event? The Armada World Championships already happened this year.
It already happened this year,
It was
correct.
at Adepticon.
Yep.
See you next year. How do you figure out the top players for factions?
Oh, that is actually a very good question.
Yeah.
So what we will do is we will base it on the final standings. So if it's let's say a day 1A top of faction prize, we would take the final standings for day 1A, and then we would prize down that list based on whatever the quantity was. If it was a top 4 or top 16 of the faction, the top 4 players on this final standing would receive that top 4 prize, where the top 16 would receive the top 16 prize.
So that would then be before day 2, and all that gets involved. Right?
Yes, because each day will be its own day, essentially,
Yeah.
right?
Perfect.
Its own event.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So I think that is just about all that we have for today. There will be.
So I'm looking forward to getting there hopefully on a press pass again this year and being able to see the changes and see how it's evolved. The big ones outside of that, obviously the thing everyone's been crying for, the last chance qualifier. 400 seats is what they said they were going to be for this tournament, which if you were to consider that if Worlds itself were only 400 seats, that would be small and I feel like you'd have issues. But the number of invites that they've already given out, so that core of players who've already qualified, don't eat into that number. And even if you go and everyone who's had a ticket reserved turns up, you don't cut into that top 64. You'll still have stuff to do on the week. They said we're going to be side events, so that's all pretty exciting. So definitely would advise people, if you want to go to our FFG Con, it will still be that feel. I'm still looking forward to hopefully getting there, and I want to go down and enjoy the experience, hopefully. We'll see what we can do. Hopefully I'll be able to see you there. If I do, come over and say hello. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you like the idea of this last chance qualifier? The move away from the FFG Game Centre? What are the pros and cons in your opinions? If you like the content, make sure you subscribe and give us a like. And make sure you tick the little bell to notify when we get new videos. Thanks everyone. See you on the next one.